Hey everybody, thank you yet again for listening to another episode of Ordinary People Extraordinary Stories. We have a brand new subscriber by my man, Richie. Thank you very much, Richie. I appreciate your support. We also want to go ahead and thank Courtney as well as Tamsin and Aiden. Give you guys all a shout out for supporting the channel. If you guys are interested in also supporting the channel, feel free to click the link below in the description to our Patreon, where you will have access to additional episodes, extra episodes, and extra bits from the show that we don't put on our Spotify and our YouTube channels. Now, with that being said, I'm going to start talking, and you're going to start listening to the next episode. Here we go. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Ordinary People Extraordinary Stories. I'm your ghost with the most, Tristan, and, well, we don't quite have a OPES episode today. Today we actually have what I call a novella. Now, if you don't know what a novella is or don't remember our last novella, I did a 420 episode where I basically went a little off script, talked about fun, mature things, which if you haven't seen that one, I must highly recommend to check it out. It's probably one of my funnier ones. But no, this is one of these episodes or things where I just go, a little off script and talk about whatever I want with whoever I want. And today we're talking about the reason for the season. That's correct. That's Halloween. So I'm going to talk about it with my good friend Matthew. Just to give you a little background, he looks like Rasputin, but that's not the reason why I have him on the episode. No, I have him on because he has watched 18 horror movies. Count them. That is 1, that is 8, it is not 9. It's you double that, and he watched 18 of them. So we're going to talk about it. All the scary movies, all that kind of fun stuff in between. So yeah, we're going the complete blood buffet. We're talking about ghosts, slashers, arty flicks, and even ones that have Nick Cage in it, because he's a genre too. So, oh yeah, and anyone who is currently listening to this in the future, know that I'm releasing this episode right before Halloween. So even if it's past Halloween, you want to keep the spooky season a little, alive a little bit longer, feel free to watch this and find some great movie recommendations. I will also say to everyone to please listen to the very end of the episode. We have a couple of big announcements to share, and I'd love to have a bit more engagement with you guys. But with that being said, you got a channel in, everybody. You gotta grab some black eyeliner. Those plastic fangs, which tasted just like a really gross kind of retainer. You know what I'm talking about? The vampire retainers. Get your favorite Dracula cape and get ready to feel the funk of 40,000 years for another OPES Novella.
Dude, this is so embarrassing for you.
It's very embarrassing. I feel like such a boom. Like, oh, it did literally the react button. Okay.
Get your grandson over here. That's
Yay!
CGI.
Look at it. It's a party. Yay! I'm celebrating my 60th birthday today. I hope my grandson visits me.
Yeah, that's not happening, buddy.
I know. Fucking Zoomers.
Dude, you scared right now?
Dude, I'm always scared. I'm so scared that
Wait, can I add multiple? No, okay.
I like moved my it moved for me. Is that just what this cast is? Just us fucking around with Zoom?
We just like halfway through the episode, we download a soundboard and just start playing noises.
That'd be fun, especially with like bat and sound effects and just spooky noises. Oh, while you were gone, your cute little kitty cat walked right on the computer, like
Oh,
right,
he
just
did.
right. I was like, "Hello, Miss." It's a boy.
Yeah, it's a boy.
Dudes, two dicks in the house,
He's a
fucking
yeah.
just cannoning up in your Mojo Dojo Casa house, right?
He's a eunuch though.
That's right. Oh, is it so? Isn't
Looks like we
sucking?
have something in common.
Hey, you're not married yet. Heyo.
Hey, that's true. That's true. It's coming though. It's coming quick.
Yeah, it is. But before we talk about that horror movie, let's talk about the segue.
Oh wow, what a
Ah,
transition!
poggers! Okay, because I haven't, we editor. I'm gonna put air horn noises right here, like, you know,
Oh yeah.
damn
Damn,
son, where'd you
son, where'd you
find
find
this?
this?
And maybe some Call of Duty hit markers.
And then another set of air horns.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, that's good. That's
I
good.
love, dude, it's fun. Like, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of this is our novella again. This is just me, regular ass Tristan, but this is my good friend Matt. Like we're homies. Say hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Matt, you can't tell because this is gonna be audio, but eventually we can do video. Matt looks like Rasputin. Like,
It's true. I have a secret sex cult that nobody knows about. So don't tell anybody.
I'll keep it
Cut this
quiet.
out. Cut this out.
Air horn noises. We're like, and this is the last time I'm going to reference the audience. Guys, you guys are going to be flies. We're just having fun. Matt's on here because you've watched how many freaking horror movies, bro?
I mean, in my life, a fair number.
Sorry,
But
that was a
this
terrible
month,
question. Yes.
this
Yes.
month, so I started a little late in the month. I got kickstarted I went over and hung out with the beloved host, and
Me.
yeah, it's Tristan, in case you didn't know. And we watched a horror movie, and I had mentioned that I'd been wanting to really get into horror get into the spooky season like vibes. And then after we did that, I started watching a horror movie almost every day in October. A few days missed here and there due to responsibilities, but
I hate that you're like defending, like you're like, oh, I didn't have time to watch a horror movie every single hour of every day. You watched 18 people.
I watched 18. I've
18
watched 18
fucking
horror
movies, dude. It's like no, and bro, those are not small numbers. Like you're dabbing on people who are like, I like movies. Do you really? Do you like 18 horror
Yeah.
movies worth of I like movies? If you don't, then shut
But
up.
there's more to come though, because the month is
Hey
still,
yo,
it's not over.
there's more
It's
to
not
come.
over.
You gonna come? You gonna come with
My lawyer advised me not to answer that question.
Hell yeah. Well, just like you said that when you said you want to watch horror movies like Chris Hansen to a child predator, my eyes grew wide and I told him to have a seat right over there. And I told him a bunch of horror movies to watch and we're gonna ask some questions and kind of pick his brain. But yeah, we're gonna try to release this episode before Halloween, but watch freaking horror movies. It's the spooky season. Like, bro, it's Mariah Carey's not here yet. Santa Claus is not coming to town yet, but he's coming. Like a white Christmas, that big boy is coming. But until that happens, baby, it's jack-o'-lanterns and mass killers and spooky ghosts and vampire bats and pumpkin spice and sweaters and yeah.
Wait, have you made jack-o'-lanterns yet?
No, and to be honest, I thought I don't know if I want to this year. And I'm the guy who showed
Poser.
you Trick or Treat. Exactly.
Poser.
Oh, bird him!
Not only did I make one,
Bird the witch!
I made one more than one. I made two.
Dude, wow, that's like double of one. That's
Yeah, it is
crazy.
double of what I know. It's like it too. It's crazy. I get a little crazy at Halloween. I'm a little
You little
quirky.
cokey, you little bit. Oh man. So what was the jack-o'-lantern? Like I remember
So,
you.
well, so I made, like I said, I made two. If I haven't mentioned that yet, there were two jack-o'-lanterns made.
So
So
three.
so no, two.
Okay, I had to be sure.
Yeah, it wasn't one, nor was it three. It was somewhere in the middle. It was two.
Four?
Two.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
that's
close.
double.
That was good.
That's
Yeah, it was
double
double.
of the one you.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's double
all
of
right.
one, not
Okay.
double of two.
So there's a
Neither is
one
a
and a
double of
one.
three.
There's
Yeah,
a one and a one.
Yeah, they go together.
What was the first of the two jack-o'-lanterns, what was the picture design? Was it number two?
So the first one I actually did was Deathly Hallows, a little like
Oh,
Harry Potter symbol.
that's cute.
Yeah, the only
Did
reason it
you
turned
do
out to
it
be
because of Shaylee? Because she likes Harry Potter?
no, I actually did it because of our good friends, Rhea and
Rhea,
Andrew.
we're getting married.
That's right. So, but the only reason it didn't turn out absolutely terrible, it turned
Okay.
out mediocre, is because my fiance was also there, and she wasn't making a jack-o'-lantern, she was painting it, and it turned out
Oh,
really cool though. I'll
okay.
have to show you a picture of it.
So
But
did you paint it or did you carve the
I
Deathly
carved
Hallows?
because it would
Attaboy.
have been worse if I painted it. Um,
Plus, like, bro, jack-o'-lantern, like, you can paint it. That's fine. But, bro, like, get a freaking knife and a piece of sandpaper and cut your hand while you make a cool freaking design.
yeah, so I carved out the Deathly Hallows, and then the next day we went to their like apartment complex, and I knocked and left it at their front porch, and we left. We
That's
ding
cute.
donged it with it.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
It does have a tragic ending though, and I'll get to that later. The
Oh my
second one
God.
I made, so remember there were two. If you guys don't
Okay.
know, there were two jack-o'-lanterns I made.
I know there's one more of this one that he won. So the other
Yeah,
one.
it was. I mean, it's a bit of a classic joke. It was a check engine light, been haunting me all year.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
a I'm gonna put a laugh track right here.
thank you,
There you
because
go.
that way they know it's funny.
It's
Yeah,
I'll tell you a behind the scenes secret. I may or may not edit this. I like to take people's laughs from episodes. Like, say you laugh before, and I say a joke that
right.
doesn't land. I'll copy and put it right after because
That's really funny.
I'm not gonna be not funny on my show. Fuck you.
That's really good. I like that.
So my ghost of insecure. Well, it's not a ghost, but it does haunt me every day. You know,
Oh, that's what you should carve your jack-o'-lantern. Do one this year
a
and
ghost of
make it a
insecurity.
ghost
I
of
don't know how
insecurity.
you like. You just draw me. I
Draw a little ghost and then carve out the word insecurity instead of the ghost saying boo. It's like insecurity, and you're like you
That's weird
know.
because they're gonna think like, is the ghost saying insecurity? Is it insecurity ghost? Is it like my ghost not security?
Hey Tristan, it's a
Yeah.
jack-o'-lantern. It's not that deep.
Is you jacking off? No.
That was gross.
Actually, would making a jack-o'-lantern be considered jacking off? Or are you jacking on? Are
You're
you
getting your
jacking
jack
in?
on. You're getting your jack on.
Yeah, you just jack it right off,
You're
dude. It's
getting
like jack on, brother.
yeah, jack on.
Jack on. There you go. Yeah. That might be the name of this episode. I haven't figured that one out. But
Yeah, the Deathly Hollows one that I carved, and I didn't tell them. So they sent a picture of the group chat, like, "Oh wait,
oh yeah, the tragic story. Fuck.
yeah, who made this? Like, who dropped this off?" And of course, I didn't deny it, but I didn't admit to it anyways. I was like, we just, I played it off. It was a few days gone by. I went over to their house to help with some wedding stuff a few
Okay.
days later, and it was in the trash, Tristan. It was in the trash. And let me tell you why. It's because they said, and this is before they knew it was me, so they weren't lying uh to protect my feelings. But it was fine one night. Then the next morning, this was like real spooky seasons. It was completely rotted overnight and just like got like this gross stuff everywhere. Probably because
Yeah.
they kept it indoors, is my guess. But
That's exactly the reason why it essentially was if you put a jack-o'-lantern in a humidifier and it just got weird, like moist and kind of like that sucks.
yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, I'm not talking to them ever again.
No, you know what?
So
You see, are we not going to the wedding now? Just
well,
would
we'll
that be
put
a
a bunch.
present to them more than like an issue for them? Is like
That's
me,
a good question.
you know,
They're seating us together, by the way. We're right next to each other.
yay, that'll be fun.
Yeah, that was a mistake on their part.
I know, right? Because they're not the only
We're
ones getting married. I would love to. Do you want to upstage a wedding? I've never
we
upstaged a wedding before.
we can make this a wedding no one ever is gonna forget.
You gonna break your AR-15?
Dude, they're not getting married
Uh,
in a high school. Relax.
Horror movies, everybody. This is the Halloween episode. This whole episode's scary. It's a scary one.
That's right.
I'm so mad that I think oh no we recorded it. I have to put in the beginning of the episode, but when you referenced my iced coffee as being calm,
Oh,
I, I
oh, we
hate
weren't recording for that. I don't think.
I'm just gonna and then I'm just gonna do a bunch of
There's no,
promos where I say that and I'm just gonna do this. 'Cause like I closed my eyes I did
yeah, there's no proof that I ever said that.
except when I put the clip in this episode. So we have not only proof, but it's there.
It could have been AI generated.
That's true. I'm
That's
actually
right.
a computer program.
That's right. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, the Koreans love me. Horror movies. We'll get on. I guess we don't have to get. We should get on track a little bit. Like I think I've
I
sucked your dick
guess.
enough for like what
Well,
30 minutes.
yeah.
Sorry, not to spit it out and I okay. So wait. Speaking of learning about a word that you didn't know before, what did you ever tell me what that word was that you didn't know about? Like you found out about a word and you're like, oh my God.
Oh,
Oh yeah, the eye
yeah,
thing. That's what it
yeah.
was.
Visual snow. Yeah.
Visual snow. Okay. So I learned a word this week. I didn't know what it was, and I wish I didn't know what it was. Like I'm upset that I looked it up and found the definition.
Where don't am I gonna be upset if you tell me?
I think so. Then that's why I'm gonna tell you.
Well, I appreciate your kindness.
Hey, you know what? It's a spooky season. Felching. I don't know what felching is.
It sounds so familiar.
But when I looked up felching, I was really upset. Like I was like, I didn't want to know this.
I don't know. I'm scared.
You should be.
Please don't felch me.
Let's jump in. Did you make the list as far as like the least to best of the
Dude,
movies you
I
watched?
I like straight up woke up this morning, looked
Uh,
at my phone, saw that you had sent me that, and then I made the list
Oh,
before I even
fuck
got out of
yeah.
bed.
Hell yeah. Attaboy. Okay, I was expecting the worst from you.
Yeah, well,
Um,
that's hurtful.
let's
Or-
start with your best or like sorry, we'll start with so out of 18 movies,
Mhm.
we're just gonna read off some so they know because the problem is like you kind of grabbed it from a bunch of directors, but why don't you share just a couple that you've seen
All right.
or the series and then the ones that aren't a part of a series.
Yeah, so I've seen well, I'm working on the Nightmare on Elm Street series for the
Mm,
first time. There's a lot of classics I haven't seen. Of course, I'm also slowly working through the Saw series, and I worked through to as much as I'm going to watch of the Hellraiser series.
absolutely. Don't worry, folks. I treated him right. I told him these are what you need to watch. Don't watch the next one. You could hypothetically watch the third Hellraiser if you like Freddy, because essentially that movie, Pinhead's like, I want to pull a Freddy, and he does the really bad puns and kills. So
I feel like that's not Hellraiser though, because
thank
like
you. It's not.
it might be like Nightmare on Elm Street is by no means like I haven't watched any of them and been like, wow, these are like fantastic, like high quality films, but they're a lot of fun. And that's why people watch it. They're a lot of fun. Uh, and Hellraiser is a little more on the like serious film side. It's not.
Exactly. And it's, dude, it's just like, I don't know. This, like you mentioned, there's a community for it, and it's not like, that's not it, man. It's not it. But okay, sorry. So you were saying, so we got you saw some of the nightmares, some of the saws, some of the Hellraisers, and I guess a couple indie flicks. Can you share those?
Yeah, yeah. So I saw let's see, The Void, which was it was interesting. It was kind of like
Don't
a
share too much. You'll get started
all right,
in a
we'll get back
second.
to it.
Just
We'll get
like,
back to it.
yeah,
Okay.
let people know what you
Yeah,
listen to or watch.
there I watched one called A Dark Song. Uh
Which I'm really glad you got
and
to watch that. That was a good one.
I guess is Color Out of Space, is that an indie film?
It absolutely is. It's didn't I don't think it had like mainstream like I don't think it actually went to the theaters. If it did, it was like one of those fringe theaters, and I'm pretty sure like a big director. I think like let's see even how much money it was made for. Let's see. But yes, I think it's indie.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Hell yeah. 2.9. Damn, that movie's mad divisive. Either you love that movie, you fucking hated that movie.
Really?
So,
What is what is its like review score
2.9.
on IMDb?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, it's yeah. Well, at least oh yeah, IMDb says 6.2. Again, you either love this
Uh,
fucking movie, you hated it, but
how's-
it also like flopped. It was made on six to $12 million budget and only made a million bucks back. So yikes,
oh, yikes.
the yikes for me, dog.
I did I did enjoy that movie, but I also kind of get it.
Yeah, but so you saw that one, and then you also saw Trick or Treat, a little anthology series.
I did. That
We
was
can
good.
get into that one, and then we showed you two John Carpenter movies. So like in the very beginning, the movie I forced upon him was Prince of Darkness, which, as you beautifully summed up, was what? Satan in
Uh,
a jar?
yeah, dude, it's Liquid Satan,
Liquid
man.
Satan, dude. That's
I that was so much fun. That was such a
I'm glad you enjoyed that. I'm really glad you enjoyed that. And then you also watched In the Mouth of Madness. That was the other John Carpenter movie. So
yes.
about
Yeah.
and then last Event Horizon. So that's 18 movies. Obviously you're gonna tell how you feel for each one. And if you haven't got it already, this show is gonna be about horror movies. It's gonna be about felching and discussing horror movies. So you like one or the other or both, you're tuning into this one. So yeah. All right. Yeah, let's start at
So,
number 18.
what do you
And
think? Do you think we
what?
have any felchers out there?
Yeah, I always say like previous stuff I mentioned as a joke or like, get that reference. I don't want to think any of my, no offense, audience members. I don't think I want to know if you felch. I think that's a little too personal and private. Like,
Yeah.
let's keep it fun and mysterious. Let's let it be a maybe, Maybe you seem really conservative, but you love getting felched out, bro. Like, oh.
If you can find me on social media, please tell me if you felch, because I want to
Well, actually, I'll tag his socials in here. So if you guys,
know.
yeah, he put it out there, folks. I hope none of my audience members will like mail you a bomb or like actually do that because
Don't put my address out there and we're good.
Matthew's
Don't
social
dox me.
security number is one. No. Okay, countdown. Let's start.
Okay. All right.
You can say the movie and you can say like a little description, maybe why it's here and what you liked of it. It's up to you. It's your piece.
Yeah, all
But
right. So starting from the bottom, all right.
are we here?
Are we here?
Okay.
That's a good question. That's a question that philosophers have been trying to answer for centuries.
Drake's has a pretty good answer so far,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Well, anyways.
I
So starting
also
from the
don't listen to
bottom,
Drake.
I
No.
yeah, I I
Aye, Captain.
I don't want to turn your audience against me, but I don't know if you have any Drake fans, but I'm not a Drake fan.
It's because you never listened to his music, have you?
I try. I try. I'm gonna
Uh,
be real.
no, you're not being real.
I'll be real. I
You're
try.
be, I'm gonna pull a Drake on you. You think you're being real, but you're playing games right now. Number 18.
All right. So the number 18. So I rank this from like least to like most favorite. So
Okay.
18 would be my top one, but I'll just invert the list for you. So we'll start with the worst one
Okay.
is Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
I knew it because you just
Yeah,
weren't a fan.
it was so bad.
It's man, and I know for all the reasons you said, but I appreciate it because I imagine how scarier Freddy became if he can possess people, and also the fact he can body jump and just fuck you up. And I got like,
It just like wasn't really coherent though. It was like all over the place.
yeah,
The things were just kind of happening and I don't know. I just was not having a good time. And then because you can straight up go from the first to the third,
yep,
and
not skip
the
a beat,
second, yeah, the
just
second one,
yep,
they act like the second one just didn't even happen.
because okay, so I understand it. I'm gonna still love and defend it because I realize I'm just that guy. I adopt the ugly cat movies of cinema. So okay, 18. was not Nightmare 2 was the next
Yeah,
one.
The Void.
I'm disappointed. I'm a
Yeah.
little disappointed. I thought like with the whole you saying you like practical effects, you would appreciate all that.
So let me say this. I thought that it was like the practical effects, like that. A lot of it was really cool. Like there was a lot of good concepts there and good ideas.
But also nothing happened. It's
Nothing
really
happened.
just like people at a hospital show up and stuff happens.
Yeah, and like there was no like cohesion to the story really. It was kind of nonsensical. Like there's just a point where these two guys just randomly show up at the hospital. And it's like, oh, they're here now. Like it doesn't ever like it kind of tries to explain it, but not really. And then it's the movie is kind of like a nod to like the gore fest of like the 80s and 90s, you know, like those films. And for that, it was like I didn't like hate watching it, but I was like it felt kind of like wasted potential. I was like there was
Ooh.
a lot of good concepts here that if it was just tied together, if they put the same amount of money into production as they did to like story writing, they could have done like something really cool.
Which reminds me that I'm putting another movie on here. You gotta watch The Church, 1989.
Is that the weird like French
Weird,
one?
it's Italian.
Italian. Yeah, what's the
Yes.
difference?
Hey,
I
Italian, hardly.
hardly know her.
Nah, I was thinking like something like spaghetti. Like there's got a rigatoni. Talk about rigatoni,
Dude, wow. You write these yourself?
dude. Like, no, I hired a Jewish guy to write for me. So,
Oh, that's good. Well, yeah, I mean, they control them everything, so it makes
oh my
sense.
God, shut up, Kanye. Okay, so that's The Void was 17, and again, people take notes. If anything, we'll try not to spoil too much, but if it piques your interest, check it out. Reach out to us. Like that's the whole reason I want to do this episode is watch your movies. So that was 17. What about 16?
A dark song. And keep in mind, I
What?
didn't think keep
What?
in- I didn't think a dark song was bad. Okay. Let me put it like this.
Didn't think it
So
was good.
yeah, well there I saw so many horror movies. Some things had to go to the bottom.
I know, but like
And
it was had such a good write. The concept of writing the
it was
okay.
really good. I really enjoyed it.
Stop
It had its
jerking me off. Just tell me
no
how you feel. Why is it in 16? Explain yourself.
I just I think just with all the other ones that I watched, I just didn't enjoy it as much as what else comes in the list. Uh, it was good. There, the ending was kind of interesting too, but I don't want to spoil too much. But it is good. If you haven't seen A Dark Song, you should watch it.
It's excellent. It's very brief summary. So if you want
And
to, what? Yeah.
it's kind of unique in its like concept, which is pretty cool.
It's about a woman whose her kid dies and she reaches out to a 4chan wizard on the internet to contact her guardian angel and she does legitimate ass like magic practicing. Like not just like the pentagram and listening to Slayer backwards. No, like the turns off all the clocks in her house, covers all the windows, and you straight don't know how long they've been there. Have they been there for months? Have they been there for weeks, days? Definitely not days, but uh it's spooky and weird. I say check it out. Matt says check it out, but I get it. Okay. Just too much like the fucking Quiznos. It's got too much good stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, no, that's toasty. Too much good
I
stuff is
I don't know,
that's
man.
I
I
think that's
just live
AM
here.
PM. Live area. You hardly, you hardly work there.
That's good. You got to keep these up. That's
Thank you.
clever.
Thank you.
That's how you're gonna blow up.
Characters welcome. USA. Number 15.
uh, Trick or treat.
Okay.
I
Also
Yeah,
so disappointed, but fine. Okay.
yeah. It was a lot of fun. I thought it was really interesting because again, like from on this point on, like it was difficult figuring out how to rank a lot of these because it was like I enjoy like all of these like so much.
To be
The
fair, yeah, no, you're right. There's a lot of good stuff there, and
Yeah,
damn, okay, okay, I get it.
Trick or Treat was really cool. I loved the like the way they did like the anthology, like
Tied it
everything was
all
like connected.
together.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's and man, and the cool thing is, if people who don't actively watch horror, anthologies are a staple of the genre. Anthologies are little short movie stories that all play together. You can think like Pulp Fiction, Trick or Treat's a fantastic Halloween one. I always tell people, bro, you want to watch a Halloween scary movie, watch Trick or Treat. It fills all the boxes. One of my favorite, and if you want more anthologies, Creepshow's one. I think Tales from the Hood, masterpiece. Like it's a black themed horror anthology,
Interesting. Who
and
who dies first?
the cop. No, wait. I actually think it was the well, it's if you're interested, like I said, we'll plug some more anthologies. But yeah, that's anthologies. Always check them out. There's a wide variety. If you're interested in more of that, Matt, or any audience members, let a homie know. Let's continue down the list. 14.
All right. The first Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay,
First Nightmare on Elm Street. Uh, that was fun. Because again I had never seen these the Nightmare series before, so
exactly.
on watching it I was like, all right, that it's fun. I see why people enjoy this series, and which is why when I moved on to the second one, I was great. I was horribly disappointed. I'm like, this series better pick up. I was
And
like,
in hindsight, like watching the first one to the second one, the first one has done so many good things with it though. Like even camera tricks, the blood
mm,
fountain scene, that was done upside
mm,
down to make that
oh,
effect.
interesting.
It's and then you got Johnny Depp, little itty
Yeah.
bitty
Oh my
baby,
gosh.
so
Yeah, the
fuckable twink Johnny Depp.
right before his him doing 21 Jump Street, I think.
I probably should research and figure that out. But yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
think what was the 21 Jump Street was like 87, I think, and this came out in 84. So it was
Okay.
it was wild because you can like you're like looking at him, you're like, I can tell it's Johnny Depp, but only because I know it's Johnny Depp. Like,
Exactly.
very uh very interesting. The next one in the ranking here is uh Nightmare 4.
Okay.
Nightmare 4.
Okay.
That I mean that it was fine. It was fun. Uh I Go ahead.
I was just saying that's the last nightmare movie you've seen so far,
Yeah,
right?
it is. It
So
is.
I'm not spoiling anything, but going from and I feel like such like a professor. Like I didn't realize how ready I was for this discussion where I'm like, bro, we're gonna learn people today on some horror movies.
Oh yeah.
You're
I'm ready to learn a thing or two.
oh bro. Well, so you go from like you said, the amazing start of one to the weird thing they were trying to do in two, to they figured out the power of the sequel in the three, and then the fourth one, they're still doing the same things as number three, but then they kill that entire cast, and they're like, now we have a whole new crop of kids, and they have like a weird little arc of like three movies. It's like her and four, and that's you're starting it in four, and then there's five, and then I'm trying to remember there might be six and then the end, or I think six is Freddy's dead. I let me look.
Yeah, I think there's like 7 movies in this series.
Yeah, with six is Freddy's dead, and then I think yep, New Nightmare. Okay, which I've not seen New Nightmare, and technically have not seen Freddy's dead. I tried to watch it, but it's yeah, man, it is okay. Okay, so do you want to say more about four? Or do you want to move on?
I think you just move on.
Okay,
There's not a lot to say about 4 that like is gonna be because I feel like most of what I would have to say about 4 would be like wrapped up in 3. So like,
what are you scratching the microphone with your finger,
oh, I
or is it
might
your
be.
beard?
Uh Wait, how's it sound now?
Try it with your finger again. Kind of hear it, yeah, but
Yeah, I think I was just moving my finger
okay.
on the base of the mic. Okay, we can edit it out and add air horns. Anytime there's a weird audio sound, we should just replace it with an air horn.
Like now, like now. But
Yeah,
okay, Nightmare 4.
Yeah, and then so the next one is Nightmare 3.
All the way at the. I'm still surprised you like a nightmare so much that that was gonna be. Because what is that, like 10, 11? Like you. That means at least all the saws are above all this. So I'm a little
Yeah.
disappointed, but oh, tell me about three. At least tell me what you liked about it.
I liked it a lot. It was honestly, out of all the Nightmare movies I've seen so far, it has like the most like it actually has a plot. And it has a lot of interesting like concepts that they actually follow through with instead of just kind of like introducing, which is a big problem in horror movies that try to do complicated things too, is they'll introduce things and they don't really go anywhere with them. They like
Exactly.
it introduces a lot of fun things. I mean, I'm sure most people have probably seen this one,
You'd be
but
surprised. No, most like if you're a horror fan, you've seen this one. If you've dipped your toes into it, a lot of people don't consume series. They see, oh, I saw the first one, and then I moved on with my life and had kids and you know
yeah.
401k and blah and
Wow,
dental.
that's cringe.
I know. Fuck yeah, we're gonna watch horror movie sequels. But no, I totally agree. Love the concepts in it. I love the crop of kids. You just got
Yeah,
good, fun people with variety, and it was like the starter. I don't want to say start, but the whole, you bring back the legacy character. You know, we
yeah,
got back our final girl, and she's like, you know. And we also found out how Freddy came to being, which I thought was really gross.
yeah. It was really gross.
Yeah. And we're not
It
gonna say it. People can look it up and just be disappointed, or watch the
yeah,
movie and find out.
yeah. It was really good. I mean, of course, it was cheesy, but that was kind of the point of like the I feel like Nightmare series. It was like
Cheesy
a
like
cheesy
the
like
pie from Nightmare 4, the pizza pie.
oh dude, that was wild.
Right. Right.
That
Okay.
was wild. Yeah, no, it was just like, but it's like the fun cheesy, you know. It's like you watch that, you're like, oh, this is a good time.
Well,
And so I
welcome to
think,
prime time, bitch.
yeah, and I think it just made the movie a very charming, a lot of fun.
Do you remember what your favorite kill was, at least in 3 and 4?
And three and four, oh,
You don't have to say too much. You can say like a word. Like I can't remember, 4 has the bug scene where Freddy bone apple tea. I think that's
yeah,
okay.
that was interesting. That was an interesting one.
Right.
Um, I'm trying to remember the way that everybody died. There's so many deaths
If
in
nothing,
the
if nothing pops out, we can move on. It's cool.
yeah, yeah. We might need to move on
Let's move
because
on. It's okay.
yeah. And then here we are at the next one above the Nightmare series is Color Out of Space.
Okay, big dog. All right.
Yeah,
Explain yourself.
yeah, I like this one a lot. One big problem with horror movies and good ones is that when they have this like interesting story and they get it going and then they absolutely have no idea how to end the film. Like it bombs in the end.
It
The
just
movie
shits
can
the
still be
bed.
fun, but
Yeah,
in the end you're like, I'm disappointed with how that ended. I feel like this one was able to wrap it up nicely and like end it in a way that was like faithful to H.P. Lovecraft and his writing style. And they might have
exactly.
just I haven't actually read that Lovecraft story. They might have just ripped the ending right out and just adapted it a little bit.
I think
But
so too, but
yeah, and it worked, and that was probably the strength of like adapting an older horror movie where you already have like or older horror story is you already have like this cohesive story, and then you can just that they're adopting into the modern world, and so it's easier to follow through with that ending
right on.
because Lovecraft was a brilliant writer, and so that
Also a
helped a
brilliant
lot.
racist. Fuck that
He
guy.
was,
Fuck
yeah.
him.
Yeah, no, he was a very interesting guy, but as like a writer, he was really good.
No, he was. He could write dread. Like that
Yeah,
feeling of just I can't understand it. I can't comprehend it. It's primal. It's like it's becoming more terrifying the more I think about it. And it's I mean also when you think color out of space, very it's the color. I actually you know what? Fuck it. I hope no one can see my buttocks because I'm not wearing pants. I'm just wearing undies. Hold on, let me just I'm gonna oh, can't see, hell
oh,
yeah.
I think you dropped something.
To everyone else that wants to know what the color looks like from the color out of space, it's like this weird pink magenta color. Like,
Hmm.
there you go. Yeah, like here, there's looks like cotton candy. It's
It
actually
kind
like
of does.
color sucks. I need a better. It's because I got light glare, I think, or whatever they call it. But it stars Nick Cage, and there's a scene about an alien or a creature that makes the most just horrifying fucking noise. Like it haunted me when I heard. I'm like, I don't like how this sounds. I think I want to throw up. It was gross. We're not going to
Yeah,
repeat it because I don't want to spoil it. But what did you think of that?
that noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. But I think there were a lot of little things that that movie did that were like that were really good.
Okay.
It really was able to capture that like sense of like just normal dudes encountering this cosmic thing that they don't really know what it is,
It's a color
and
out of space.
that
What
is
does
it.
it mean?
Yeah, and it
Whoa!
doesn't really answer the question
Yep.
like what it is. It's just this thing that happens, and then the world moves on,
Yep.
and it's like
And that's what's
it's
scary
really
about
interesting.
Lovecraft's writing is
Yeah,
that whatever whatever thing is coming your way, whether it's evil or neutral or it's bigger or older than you, there's nothing you can do about it, and just you're an ant in like a gigantic, just galactic sea of nothing. And there's nothing. It's just, yeah, that's terrifying when you think about that.
yeah. And in that movie, I think it captured that really well. There were some goofy things, in the movie, and
You
Nick
said Nick Cage
Cage.
sounded like he was doing a Trump
Yeah,
impersonation.
anytime he gets like worked up, he sounds like he's trying to do a Trump impersonation through in the film, and it's really goofy. It takes you out of it a little bit.
Oh my god.
It's a little goofy.
I see. I don't
Uh,
remember that, but I'm gonna like low key check it out for half a second. But
yeah,
you want to go to the next one, or you got a little bit more to say to
yeah.
this?
I mean, that was pretty much all I had to say. So far
Yeah.
about Color Out of Space. It's a good one. I think people should watch it. Like I said, it has its goofy moments, but it's a fun time.
Oh my god, I'm so fucking mad because he does sound like it. I'm at one
Yeah,
scene. He's even doing the hand thing. Like fuck.
yeah.
Best 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 cabin, best color. I can't. My friend X can do a pretty decent Trump. I'm gonna see if he can maybe put maybe like a little ditty here. I'll have him watch that scene. I'm like, okay, you have to do this, but sound like Trump's at a space, best color. You know,
Nick Cage is a wild actor, by the way. Dude, he kind of he gives me unhinged vibes, dude.
he is a national treasure.
Wow,
Just,
he is.
but no,
But
but at the end of this episode, or there's gonna be a segment where it's like, hey, okay, so what can I recommend before the month is up? Is I have categories. So we have anthologies, we have other series, we have Nick Cage horror movies. Because bro, that's a genre, bro. That's a
I didn't
subgenre.
even realize that he was in horror movies until I saw Color Out of Space.
Oh, dude, I'm just gonna fudge you up, my friend. But okay, so what's the next one then?
The next one is Saw 3,
I should also ask. So you're pretty much saying watch all these. Okay, is there ever a movie out of the list that you're just like, don't watch this one?
Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Damn.
That's it. That's the main one. Like, don't watch Nightmare on Elm Street
I'm
2.
upset. I love that might be the title of this, but I like Nightmare on Elm Street, and I want to put the title like "Don't watch it," and then
Yeah, no. I
God,
really like felt like I could have watched something else in that time. Like,
it's just so disappointing. But it's like I don't. You just gotta watch it to understand what we're talking about.
yeah,
Like, and
yeah.
again, you might either like it, you might hate it.
It's a real doozy, that one.
That's a word for it. It's a doozy.
Yeah.
So, Saw 3, which okay, because to be give you backstory to the audience about your Saw journey, you started with the newest one with Saw
Yeah, that's
10,
right.
and
I
then you
did.
worked your way through the original trilogy, which most horror fans would say that at least the first three are considered not only canon but probably the best ones. Technically, I think they're all canon, but those three are the most defining.
Yeah, so far, so I've seen Saw 1 through 3 and then, Saw X. Saw X is,
Well,
well, we'll get
don't
to it.
you'll
We'll
get
get to
to
it.
it
We'll
when
get to
you
it.
rate it. But Saw
But
3, talk about
so
that one.
Saw 3 was good. I enjoyed it. Uh Yeah, what shocked me about seeing the Saw series for the first time, because I had always been sold this idea that the Saw series was just like
Torture porn.
torture porn, and I never really had a desire to watch it. I'm despite my love for the horror genre, I struggle with gore. I get
Fair,
through
that's
it,
fair.
but I was surprised by how little gore was in the Saw movies. I mean, there's gore, but not what was being sold to me. There's actually like this narrative that the Saw movies are that they like deliver. It's not just, oh, people are getting tortured by this guy. There's this whole story, and it's really good.
Story of redemption that in reality he's
Yeah,
given people who are almost destructive with their lives in a really messed up and twisted way. Like, hey, like life's pain. How much are you willing to endure to get that life? Would it be for your kids? Are you like it's you're right. And I'm glad you said those things. So I think general message is if you are mildly like you're like, okay, you know what, fine, I can handle some blood. I want to know the story. Watch the first three. It's fair to say. Okay.
yeah, yeah. They're they're really good. There's a lot that like I just wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting the Saw movies to be as high in like the, oh, these are good movies category
Hell
as
yeah.
I discovered.
Well, there you go. So Saw 3, I'm only gonna probably you maybe could talk about like your favorite trap or maybe like the one that like made you cringe the most. You're like, ah, that was a rough one. But don't go into details so people aren't, uh,
Dude,
let them be surprised.
yeah, the I think I'm trying to remember if it happens at the end of the second one. I think it's beginning. Yeah, it's the beginning of the third one.
Okay.
There, there's the one that's like attached to her rib cage.
I think I remember it. I think, but
Yeah,
I for me I can't the only one I can really remember was the second one. And we'll get to that when you rank it.
yeah. That I'm excited to talk about the second one
Okay.
because there's a scene in that one that was brutal, dude.
Okay. So that was I don't even know what number we're on. I mean, I know we're on 3, but like I kind of do you know what number? Like are we like in 16, 15? I know
Let's
it's like maybe
see.
13, 12 or something.
That Saw 3 is number 10.
Okay. So Saw 3 is number 10. Number 9.
Yep. So number 9 is Saw 1.
Okay.
The first Saw movie. It was really good. Unlike the later Saw movies, there's not a lot of like contraptions, a lot of
Mm,
traps. This when it first dropped, it was like it's an indie like independent film. They had a budget of $1 million, I think.
exactly.
And so actually the like guy that wrote and like produced these films, he is actually one of the main actors in the film. That's how like low their budget was. Uh,
He's a
it's
national treasure. He's a horror movie. Like we love that guy.
Yeah,
He
it
also I think wrote it too. Like that's what you're
yeah
saying?
yeah yeah
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
He wrote the first three, and it shows. So there's not a lot of like contraptions. It's more like the first one is kind of like an escape room. Like
I
that's
like that. Like a disgusting, really bad escape room. Yeah.
Yeah, and not a lot actually happens in the first one. There's just a lot of like it's more of this focus on psychology,
Okay.
whereas as the series develops, it focuses a little more on the contraptions and the complexity of
Mm,
it.
okay.
The end of the first one has a really big reveal that's really cool, but I won't spoil it if anyone hasn't seen the Saw movies.
Good
Uh,
looking.
the first one's really good. Is really good, and it's kind of the catalyst for this story that the next two movies kind of pick up.
Okay, you hear the man. That's what he recommends. So, and the next one.
The next one is Saw X.
Hmm.
This one is like it's like just as good as like the first three in the series. It's really good, and I've heard from other Saw fans, like there's a guy that I work with that has, he's a big fan of the series. He's seen all of them, and he's like, yeah, after the first three the Saw movies kind of get a little weird.
Yeah.
He's like, they're still good, they're still
Yeah.
enjoyable, but they get a little weird, and he's like, this one brings it back to like its original kind of like glory. And I would agree.
Might
I
see that
think
this week if I can. That's actually a thing I think I'm gonna watch in theaters for.
Yeah, it's really good. Um, I enjoyed it a lot. It takes place, so chronologically, it takes place I think 3 weeks after the first Saw movie.
Heck yeah. Okay.
So between the first and the second. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time.
It's a good time for all.
Yeah. Yeah, the the next one is Saw 2.
Okay, this is number 6 or 7.
Let's see. If Saw 3 was 10, 9, 8, 6.
6, okay. I would say
Or wait,
probably
no,
yeah,
it's 7. It's
7.
7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
S-
let's talk about Saw 2.
Saw 2 was Saw 2 was good. It has some fun plot twists in there. I
Yeah.
did I did call them, but it was good. It's not like super predictable, I don't think, but it was a fun time. There's a scene in there with needles.
That is my like I want to say favorite because it wasn't my favorite. I did not like that. It
I
was
did
just
not like
that
it, but that
was
was the point.
yep. That you're gosh dang diddly right, buddy. That's
And that's the reason why this one is above the other ones, just because
okay.
of that scene in particular, because that is the of all the traps so far that I've seen in the Saw movie, that's the one that sticks with me. No
Yeah,
pun
and
intended.
I see. I saw what you did there.
Yeah,
That was good.
thank you. Yeah. Hey, this is how you get this podcast boosted.
Bass boosted. Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it was a good time. But it wasn't a good time. That's what makes it a good time.
Yep.
Horror, the
Absolutely.
the uh the kind of paradox there. No, that one messed me up.
Which I don't
So,
blame you, man. It was you were right. It was rough, dude. It was just a lot. It was rough. Like I want to cry just even thinking about it.
Mark Wahlberg's brother is in it.
That's right. He plays the cop.
He plays a cop in every movie he's ever in.
Really?
Well, I don't know about literally, but like every time I see him, he always plays this like detective. It's really funny. He plays in TV shows as
Well,
detectives. Like
see,
he is a
that's rough
typecast.
because he's well. I mean, I'm not gonna sprout ruin it though, but he's gonna be in the movie for a minute. He's a prime character.
Yeah.
Uh, Mark Fun. Okay, so the little side note to like what we're talking about. So you mentioned the actor that was also the writer, and I think even the producer of the first Saw movie. I'm
Hmm.
actually we're just gonna look up the guy's name so I can reference that
God, I
mother.
forget what his name is. It's on the tip of my
I think it's like
tongue.
Sam or something or
Yeah.
fucking
You're on trick or treat, so
maybe. Oh, I don't want Saw X. I want just the first Saw movie, you son of a bitch. Oh, Lay Whannell. So I think I'm probably butchering his name. He is excellent because he's essentially boys with James Wan. Where is that motherfucker? Yeah, yeah, he's homies with James Wan. And he made the Insidious movie with him, both the first and the second. And
interesting.
and he made his directorial debut on Chapter 3. Good for him. But he also did a movie called Dead Silence. Have you heard about this?
I have not.
It is the creepy ventriloquist killer dummy movie made by the same guys who made the first Saw movie and Insidious, and coincidentally also has a Wahlberg brother playing a cop. That's
Ah,
not the Saw guy. Different brother.
different brother. Interesting.
Yeah. It's
Runs
always
in the family.
coming full circle, dude.
Dude, that's wild.
But yeah, without
Yeah.
giving nothing away though, we mentioned those things. So let's okay, so from here on out, I want you to start saying the numbers like what the
All right, all right.
but okay, lay it on me.
All right. So wait, that makes this number 6.
Number
The
6, okay.
the Prince of Darkness.
Which you know what's still pretty good for being that up high. And now I'm actually
Yeah.
exciting what it means for the rest. Okay, so Prince of Darkness, like
Dude, it's so, it's cheesy, but it's fun. It's so much fun.
I For me, I liked where it went. I think
Yeah.
it also the same thing you were talking about the whole like what makes Lovecraft scary. I feel like that one had some existential dread there too, you know? Like
I feel like John Carpenter is just very influenced by Lovecraft.
I think yeah, I well not just Lovecraft, it's that man can make a good movie. You want to talk
Yeah.
about like really investing in stuff. I mean, the boy made Halloween. He made Halloween. He made Have you ever seen Big Trouble in Little Chinatown?
No.
Dude, for the rest of your life, I'm just gonna be showing you movies, having a good time and showing you movies.
Yeah, no, I liked Prince of Darkness a lot. It was goofy, it was fun, it had some disturbing scenes in it.
What one you referenced me particularly?
The scene with the bugs.
The bug scene. Say no more. It's
Yeah.
I think that's what made it my favorite movie was that scene, and I don't for me that scared me because like just like how ominous that was, and I think the lyrics were "I have something to tell you, and you're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna like it"
Yep.
is like true understatement terror. But
Yeah, it was good. It was
okay,
good.
all right.
If people haven't seen that one, they should.
I always tell
Like,
people they're sleeping on Carpenter. Watch that
yeah,
movie. People don't see that movie enough. So
every horror
awesome.
fan that I have talked to that like really loves horror, they all say the same thing about that movie, that it was
Really?
slept on. Yeah.
Okay. I heck yeah. I wait, is that the same Saw dude at your job? Says that about Prince of
No,
Darkness?
I don't know if I've not actually talked to them about that. But I have another friend that just loves watching like movies. He likes horror movies. He's like big into movies. We
Hook me
were
up with that
talking.
guy.
Yeah,
I think we could fuck up together. I might
yeah,
have sex with him. Like
yeah. I mean,
if
he's a
he likes Prince
trucker,
of
so he
Darkness,
passes
like
through sometimes.
okay, all right.
Yeah, his name is also Matthew.
I shout out Matthew. Is he gonna listen
Yeah,
to this probably?
he might. I don't know. I
You should
mean,
send it.
I'll send it to him. I don't
Good
know if I
looking.
can't make him listen to it, but
Yes, you bro. Yes, you can.
that's true.
You
I
just
can.
have to the secrets you have to whittle people down.
Yeah,
And
I'll call him at 3 a.m. every day until he listens to it.
there you go. Hey, bro, have you listened to it? It's really fun. It mean a lot to me. You know, blah blah. My friend said you have like say you have a friend that's also really handsome. I'm not, but you can lie, which will
That's
get him to
true.
listen to it
That's true. Even though you being handsome really doesn't matter in audio format.
a little bit. I think the voice really, like I think some people can be like, oh, he's got like. I mean, I don't think I have. Well, maybe. I don't know. What do you think, guys? Do I have a I have a nice voice? Do I
Let
want your
us
gams?
let us know. Send
Let
me a
us
message on social
send
media
Matthew feet pics
if you think
and
that
felching
Tristan
pics.
has it. If you think let me know if you're a felcher who loves Tristan's voice.
You can't like only one of those things. You have to like both. If you like my voice but not felching, I don't want to hear it. If you
Okay,
like felching
wait.
but not my voice, I don't want to hear it.
Disclaimer. Maybe we should edit this into earlier.
Okay.
If you do not know what felching is, do not Google it.
Nah, nah.
Just live in ignorance.
We dude, it's that's the secret is we warn them in the beginning. Either they save themselves or they didn't. And if they're at here and they still don't know what it is though, this is like, hey, we're really serious, don't look it up.
Don't
So
look it
now
up.
they're really screwed.
It's
They're like,
not
okay, I
worth
don't
it.
know, man. I need to. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a
Uh,
horror movie.
it's
We
like
are
a
called the
horror movie.
Harbingers. We're like, dude, turn back. Or don't
The
keep going.
Cenobites of felching.
All right. Okay. Next one. It's the Prince of Darkness. You recommend go see it. One of my faves. Next one.
Okay,
And
was
what's
that
the
number?
number?
I think what was the last one? Number seven. I think this is. Oh no, the last one was number six. This is number five.
Number five, baby. We're at top five of the movies he's watched, though. Top
Yeah,
five.
this top
Okay.
five in the mouth of madness.
Boom. Good,
Yeah,
stanky choice, my friend. Okay. I'm actually okay. I know then the rest of your answers. Really interesting choice.
yeah,
Let's talk about Mouth of Madness. I
dude.
want to hear you nerd about
So
this.
when I heard the title of that, I was like, this sounds like a Lovecraftian title. I was like, I'm pretty sure there's a book that has a very similar name to that. That Lovecraft did.
I think it's at it's for Lovecraft. It's at the Mountains of Madness.
Yeah, at the Mountains of Madness. That was it. Anyways, I heard that. I was like, that's very Lovecraftian. I'm like, I wonder if it's like inspired. And that film's like, it really draws a lot of that like Lovecrafty and stuff. Well, it's not like you're just like reading a Lovecraft book, but you could definitely see the inspiration from it.
Do
And
you
it
read Stephen Kane?
yeah,
Or
I
what
think
is it
it's
Simon
not Steven.
Kane?
No, it's gosh darn it. If you
Gosh
hadn't messed it
darn
up,
it.
I would
I
have
know.
known. It's Sutter Kane.
Sutter Kane. Do you watch
Sut
Sutter Kane?
you re- right? Is that right? Now
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
so.
sure.
I think so. It sounds right.
I have to give it. I have to look it up.
You're killing me.
Yeah, it is. That is correct. Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Sutter
Yeah.
Kane, yeah. Well, see, the funny thing is that I think that was like a little shout out to Stephen King.
Mm.
Same initials. Well,
Yeah.
kind of, but and
Anyway,
also, yeah, but
it's a good film.
well,
It's
the effects are well, the all I'm gonna say is the grandma scene. You can tell it's really fake. Like you can see the on high 4K 1080p copies updated. That scene, the grandma scene.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It that's the only gripe about it, is that you can tell the dummies. It's like we'll reference it in Hellraiser. But that's my only gripe about the movie. But I love the movie. I love the effects of it though. I love where it was going though. I love it. It for me it was goofy, but I think if you could remake it today, you can make it very, very terrifying.
It was very creative.
Yeah.
It was a very unique concept. It's not something you see a lot in horror movies, but with what it did, even like even like a lot of horror movies that came after it. Like it's an older one, so
Is that
sometimes you
your
see
cat?
cliches
Are you
that
typing or what is that?
sorry, my cat's eating trying to eat plastic.
That's Tell me you're a bad pet owner without telling me you're a bad pet owner.
No, he's a cat, all right.
Just let
He
me eat
thinks
plastic. Use a plastic.
he thinks that plastic's lunch, dude. I don't
Dude,
know.
plastic is delicious. I get that. I get that vibe. Cat's cool as fuck, my guy.
Stop it. I'm
God is
moving.
working.
So so yes, a lot of times when you're watching horror or like old movies just in general, you'll see like cliches that aren't necessarily cliches when they were there because they were like the original like the trailblazers. But
Mm.
even in his film, there's not a lot of those because it doesn't seem like a lot of people kind of drew from this film in like subsequent generations. It's kind of unique. It has some fun concepts that like yeah, I'd recommend it. It's
Yeah,
a good
no,
time.
absolutely. And yeah. So, and I'm glad you said that. John Carpenter movies, watch more. He does some really solid ones though too. And I'm glad you're saying it's slept on. Okay, let's keep going.
All
Number four.
right. So In the Mouth of Madness stars Sam Neill. The next film, number four, also stars Sam Neill with a surprisingly similar character, but it's Event Horizon.
Oh, that's right. It's in the. Did we talk about that's in the same universe?
We theorized, joking that's in the same universe.
Because Sam Neill's in both. Which, dude, shout out to Sam Neill. Like, for the longest time only knew him as the Jurassic Park guy, Alan. But
Oh shoot, that's right.
yeah,
He is the.
dude.
I completely forgot that for some reason.
But no, he's in a bunch of horror movies. There's an excellent one that shout out to Possessor. If you want to watch a classy ass art horror movie that's also scary, Sam Neill's in it, and he plays a fucking demon. Not real, but just he's the boy.
Yeah, so we joke that this one is in the same universe as Hellraiser. Uh,
Event Horizon,
in
right?
my yeah, in my head canon that's the case, but it's not actually.
Well, you know what? It's let it because I mean we can't real spoil Event Horizon, but I I'm glad you said you appreciated it. That the effects really kind of shitty, or some of them just don't hold up. Like it's like, oh man, that's because for me it kind of has like the taste of like a cheesy sci-fi movie. Like like you would I don't know if you've had this, but back in the day when we had cable, the
Oh,
Sci-Fi Channel would just show random movies in the
grandpa.
middle of the day, like Tremors.
Dude, Tremors is so good.
But no, but like everyone had this where like for some reason it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and they're just casually showing a movie, and Event Horizon would be one, and it's I'm glad you liked it. I don't want to say I think it's a little overrated, but I appreciate what it does, and I also wish it would potentially could be remade to also make it way more terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one.
Well,
It's a fun.
tell me more about, I guess, what made you like it so much. Was it just the concept of what it was, or?
I think the concept of what it was, so the writing was also fun. Like it was, eh, of course, Sam Neill plays almost the exact same character as he plays in at the beginning, anyways. I'll say as he
Yeah,
plays
there you go. There you
in
go.
Mouth of Madness. Uh, and Jurassic Park. Now that I think about it,
Is
there's
Sam
like,
Neill the same person? Did we
yes,
just discover that?
but it was really fun. There was a lot of cool sci-fi concepts. Uh, it was kind of like believable. Like there, the concept, the the movie, for those who haven't seen it, it's just kind of like there was this spaceship that was designed for interstellar travel, and something went wrong, and now
Mm,
it pops back up, like 10 years later or something like that, 7 years, and then they go to investigate.
and they
And
find out what happened to the ship.
yeah, there's still a little bit of mystery by the time movies end. Not everything is explained, but enough is where you're like, you kind of piece together what exactly this is, and it's good.
There's a theory, so that speaking of like this movie's in the same universe, without spoiling anything, do you know Warhammer 40K, like that universe or
I
that?
don't.
I think you'd appreciate it because I know how much you love imperialism and
Yeah.
racism and killing
Yeah. Don't
aliens.
tread on me.
Be nice.
Go.
Don't say mean things about me. Uh, so, well, again, not spoiling, but how that ship traveled is very similar to how spaceships travel in that universe. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
people are like, "Oh, technically it's the same." And okay, that was number four, and again, that's edit. Yeah, same. Number four, Event Horizon is good. Remind me again at the very end. Tell me what movie you're looking for, and I'm gonna tell you watch these if you like this. I have a Event Horizon like movie. If you like that one, you'll like this one. But let's go
Mm-hmm.
to number three.
All right. Number three is the Hellraiser Hulu remake.
Okay, okay. Share it. Well,
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it is a remake, so I'm not sure if they bring in concepts from the other like 25 Hellraiser movies, but it kind of does its own thing a little bit while still remaining very faithful to the like original Hellraiser movies. It is worth the watch. There are some like modern like Hollywood cliches they throw in there that make certain scenes a little predictable, but it's fun. Like there's like all that there's always a scene where the villain tries to turn someone against their friend group or something like that, like in
mm,
Hollywood movies, and like no one ever communicates about anything at all. They just like
which if they did would fix all the problems.
yeah, yeah, which is it seems to be like a big like modern Hollywood like uh,
I'm noticing in most modern scary movies, there's always a bathroom scene. Like there's always something that takes place in a bathroom.
yeah, because the bathroom is like the most liminal space, dude.
That's true. That is true. Okay, okay. Plus the designs are sick.
Yes.
There are some. I mean, Hellraiser. The context for people, was all about Clive Barker, gay dude. Went to like an extreme bondage club, like people who did weird pain fetishes like that. And
Oh
he's like,
shit.
"This is terrible. This is terrifying. I'm gonna write a book about demons that do this." And
Mm-hmm.
that's essentially what the Cenobites are. You
Yeah, I
summon
mean
them.
the
What?
Hellraiser series is basically extreme CBT.
Yeah. CBD.
CBT.
Cognitive
CBT.
behavioral therapy.
Cock and ball torture.
Cognitive.
Like no joke.
uh,
A little less erotic, but nonetheless.
but no, to keep talking about the remake. I appreciated the bad guy. I won't say more, but it's like his like turn, the little I don't want to say redemption arc because it's not a redemption arc. I'm not gonna say more, but just like the little change
Yeah,
that happened
he.
there was fun. And I appreciate the pinhead design, and I like what they did with the box. I thought the whole
Yep.
I once just the box thing was sick.
Yeah, the box is like, so for those who don't know Hellraiser, there's this little like puzzle box that's like the key
What's the
role.
name? Pop quiz. If you pass this, then you passed the horror test. If you haven't, you're gonna have to come back for summer school.
Oh my
Don't
gosh.
you fucking look it up. You can't remember it?
I'm not good. I can't
Mister, it's
remember.
my favorite movie of all time, but I can't
Did they
remember.
even say it in the
They
movie?
did. Oh, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna be very. I actually did they? Let's see. I'm okay. I get to look this up, but like, come on, man. Can you remember?
I can't remember because I don't remember them ever saying it in the movie.
I think they might have just said puzzle box, but
Yeah.
I guess you're right. Technically, it is because that was a part of the box. Okay. Well, would you like to know
Yeah. Yes, I would.
the lament configuration?
Oh, right. It was, yeah, yeah. They had the lament configuration. Well, I can't say anywhere about that because that'll spoil it.
There you
But
go.
yeah, there's a bunch of different configurations in the remake.
Spoils, but whatever.
Yeah,
But
I
he
mean, you
says
find out
say
pretty
it.
quick.
You say watch it. I mean, it's a remake. It's on Hulu, and it's your third pick, so you're ranking that pretty highly on your
Yeah,
list of movies. So
yeah,
you tell people to watch
it's
it.
phenomenal. Yeah, yes, watch it, love it. It's
Okay.
kind of hard not to love it. It's good, especially if you like. I would recommend, and this was recommended to me by Tristan. Watch the
Yeah.
first two before you watch the remake. Um,
It'll make
but
you
yeah,
appreciate it more.
yes, it will.
There you go.
Yes, it
I
will. You'll,
groomed him to say that. I'm like, watch it like this,
yeah,
and he's like, this is the best way. I'm like, I know, because it's all.
yeah, because those are the only three Hellraiser movies in my book. I'm too scared to watch the others. I don't want them to ruin Hellraiser.
I'm gonna spoil this for everybody. I'm not spoiling anything, but just the next ones is like any horror franchise. Because I don't know if you know this, people don't fucking know this. The Friday the 13th franchise is in like legal limbo because the two owners and Paramount can't decide who owns the rights to the movie. And if you don't keep using the character, it you lose the rights. So people essentially can bid rights to that character. So Hellraiser constantly pumped out movies that made no fucking sense. I think one was like a Saw drama that at the very end they put Hellraiser shit in there, like, oh, then we'll put like the leather dudes in there, and bam, now it's a Hellraiser. It's garbage. Watch it, have fun, and hate yourself, but like you watch the first two if you enjoy the story. You watch the third one if you want to see the bad guy become Freddy Krueger. That's it. All right. Number two. So I
Number
know you're so yeah, I know you're two, but now I'm very interested. So what's going first? So let's know
Yeah,
what's two. So
this was a hard one. Uh, I I went back and forth as to which one I should put in the first and second. They're pretty equal, number one and two. But the number two here is Hellraiser one. Um,
hmm,
and I think the reason why I picked two, I'll get to when we get there for number one. But Hellraiser 1, it's such an uncomfortable experience in the way that you want from a horror movie. I was having a dreadful time and the best way. It's really good. It's uncomfortable. It
there's some gross scenes in there for sure.
Yeah, it's very visceral.
Do you remember
Uh
like the scenes that made you cringe the hardest? I can think of two off the top of my head. Like,
Honestly, anytime Frank came on the screen, that was a rough time.
mm,
He
yeah, he's so gooey. Just like,
Yeah, they're very moist.
did I send you that meme? Where it's like, help me, I'm all sticky.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you sent it to me, but I did see it on the Ordinary People Extraordinary Stories podcast Facebook page.
That's right, I did. Sometimes I post memes there. Look at you plugging away. If you're not a part of it, you should go there and we'll make it more active if more people respond to it. Because so far, I think it's just my friend Johnny and sometimes my friend James
He
and
has
Aiden.
feet pics on there.
You know what?
The
Like, I will
dogs
do
are
that.
out.
Depending
No,
on,
there you already have it. I'm pretty sure
no,
they're already there.
I will specifically, I do take out feet pics, but I will show full frontal feet pics if I'll make a poll, and if people say yes, you'll see my feet.
Yeah.
I'll do a feet video of me stepping in ranch dressing. I'll do
Oh
it.
yeah,
Like
dude.
I'll make it happen. Oh my god, what if I just made my Patreon just like an OnlyFans? So I'm just like I do weird hilarious shit. Like
Only
I'm
ranch, dude.
only ranch, dude. Just burn up. Okay, but no, the first Hellraiser's great. Off the top of my head, that first scene, just like the hand scene. Not again, not specifying. Let people watch and figure it out. But like the very beginning when, you know, um, the mattress. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
think so.
That went deep. I didn't like that at all. I did not like that, and there were a lot of uncomfortable moments here, and it's not even just viscerally. It's a sexual element too, and it's like I don't want
Mm-hmm.
this. I do not want. It just is weird. It just feels pervy. You're like, bro, what the
It
fuck?
does.
Like, you turn like a fun slasher into you're putting your hand on my inner thigh and you're not moving it. I do not like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good. I really love the Hellraiser series. It creates also an interesting world that like I don't know, it's good.
No, no,
The
continue what you're saying about that because
eh,
it does.
it's just it's hard. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what to say exactly about it without giving too much away for those who may have not seen it.
I
But
think we could segue into your number one. The cool thing about this universe is the first movie, it's you get to enjoy the story, like, hey, here's the story, here's what happened, here we go. Second one shows you the universe, or the
yes,
world that this thing lives in, and it's got a great scope to it. It's fun. It's yeah, which I'm
and
glad you said you like too, because I when I saw two the first time, I'm like, this is really good. Like I like
yeah.
all of this. Like I dig it.
So I think a few reasons why number one went in spot two as opposed to the number one spot
Okay.
is the it's got a great like story. It suffers from the terrible plague of not being able to land the ending. There's this weird scene in
Don't
the
no
ending.
okay. Are
I
we
can't
spoil?
spoil it.
Okay, we're
I
not
can't
spoiling it.
spoil it.
Just
There's this weird scene in the end that's like what it's never touched on again.
yeah, and man, I'm like kind of upset you put it there.
Yeah.
I might do a timestamp here and say hey, or before I'll cut in and say hey, you don't want this spoiled because I don't want people to be spoiled, but fuck the ending. Oh my
Yeah.
God, like it is really disappointing. When you
But
brought that up, I forgot the first time I saw it, and I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah, it's so wild. And but that being said, it's still ranked this high even with that.
Good
Like
point. Good
it's a
point.
good one. It
Okay.
Hellraiser 2, I think kind of retcons the end a little bit. Um it it picks up pretty much immediately after the first one. Uh it's phenomenal. This one actually was able to kind of stick the ending. Uh it's what really kind of brought me into like okay I think I like this one more is exactly what Tristan was just saying was like it explains a lot of the world. You get to see like there's some really cool like Easter eggs in there like
I'm thinking after we release this, this will be probably a different episode, get more audience engagement. Was we'll put a poll or a custom poll where people can listen to if any of these movies we're talking about sound mildly interesting, listen to it, and then ask us if you want us to come back for an episode where we can really dissect that movie because
mm-hmm.
I want to talk about those Easter eggs in two. Two is fun and like I'm glad the the gong, not again keeping it nice and vague. How did you find? Did you look that up on the internet or like did you just casually know? Okay,
Amazon's actually the culprit in that one.
hey,
It has little trivia as you're watching it that'll pop up. Yeah,
hell
I
yeah,
thought that was really cool. And then I looked it up and then I like listened for it and I was like, "Oh, that's right. That's exactly what's happening."
hell yeah. There you go. Well, okay, man, and here we are. Number one is Hellraiser 2. I think it's Hellbound. Hellbound
Yes, I
Hellraiser 2.
believe
I think that's
so.
the name. Man, I'll say it once, I'll say it again, brother. I appreciate the good work that you're doing this season, though, and I love Jesus.
Yeah.
Really. really love Jesus, I still tell people, bro, you gotta like, fear the devil. Damn it! How you gonna
Yeah.
like you can't underestimate the dude. You gotta see his evil works to realize, okay, I need to be ready on the front lines. And if you're not subscribed to that, just watch scary movies, man. Get a pumpkin spice, watch something scary. Do some homework. Watch Goosebumps. You know what? I would respect if people just watch a fun kid movie.
There
Like,
is a new Goosebumps series on Disney Plus, I believe.
yeah, technically Hulu, but yeah,
Oh, is
basically.
it Hulu? Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
they apparently get to the same thing now, so
yeah, they're kind
fucking
of together.
fucking A. Uh, but yeah, no, that I think that's the only movie it's missing from your list is you need a either fall classic or a good kind of family friendly scary movie. And
Mm.
I got a few that I might recommend to you though,
I
but
want I want to say one more thing about the Hellraiser series.
please, please.
The reason why, like, so when you watch 1 through 2, it feels like you like the story is like completed, and so like I didn't feel the need for more Hellraiser, which is
Hmm.
why I was shocked that there was like 8 more movies after that, because it doesn't feel like you need like it'd be nice like, oh, there's more about the world I could discover potentially, but like I felt like satisfied
You
with
didn't
that.
need to.
And
You got
I
just
yeah,
enough what you wanted. You're like, okay,
yeah,
cool, that's
it
fun.
gives you exactly like kind of what you need of the world. And the remake is fun to watch. I think probably the only reason I watched the remake is because Tristan's like, you should watch the remake. And it was good. It was worth it. But I didn't feel like I needed it. And I think that's an important part of a
Hmm.
lot of like movies that aren't necessarily a lot of movies. Sometimes they like end and you're like, I feel like they could have given me more.
Yeah.
And I think Hellraiser kind of just gives you just enough.
It and I again appreciate you said that. I'm mildly curious if you think you saw the remake first. Do you think you had a total different mind change on this, or
I don't know.
yeah?
I think I probably still would have enjoyed the first two,
Okay,
but it probably would have confused me more to watch the remake and then go back to like the other two, because I'd be like, wait, these other concepts that they introduced aren't here. Like it would be a little more confusing.
right on, right
But
on.
I yeah, I think it's definitely 1 2, and then you watch the remake.
Well, okay, and you heard it here, folks. Hellraiser, which I'm just interested that your entire top three was one whole series. So for you, we have Hellraiser and then Friday. Like that's where we're at. Oh, and then well, actually no, technically it's Hellraiser, Saw, Friday. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. It's
Or
always
not Friday, Nightmare. Nightmare.
oh I know
Yeah, yeah,
because it's
Nightmare.
Freddy Friday. It's
Yeah.
that's Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, that the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is
You
coming
know
out
what? Okay,
Friday.
if you're in normie core, shout out to normies. It's PG-13. Watch it. You watch Five Nights at Freddy's, you get an honorary Halloween Club badge. There you go. Bam. Just gonna put on the screen.
I
That's yours.
I kind of want to see if I can get if the theater's sold out, or if I can get a ticket to go see it opening night
You
on
gotta wear all
Friday.
the
Because
gear too, like the t-shirts and the masks and the fucking.
dude, I'm not made of money. What do you want from
You don't
me?
have any V-Bucks or Roblox left? Robux?
No,
Nah.
I don't.
Just ask your mommy for the credit card.
That's right. No, I yeah, because I think it's the 27th. I think it's the drop of the
It's also
Friday
streaming. If you got
Five Nights at Freddy.
Hulu and no, it's not Hulu, it's Peacock. If you pay for Comcast, they you should get free Peacock. Get yeah, should be like I said 28, 27 streaming. So
Hmm.
watch it in theaters, watch it home, yada yada yada. Okay. Bam. Well, here we are, dude. You just completed the list. We
That's
still
right.
have 7 more questions to get through. uh okay. Because we only have so much time left. Is there out of all the questions, is there anyone like you really want to talk about, or is there any particular movie you really want to get your thoughts out more on?
Hmm. That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like just for fun, we should talk about why they kill so many women in horror movies.
Yeah. Okay. I was talking about this with Britt. So, for context, because we love women on this podcast.
I'm a rabid sexist.
What that was Liquid Satan. It's a proud sexist. Is that what
Yeah, I'm a proud sexist.
I love it. We're referencing. We're not Please don't go. Please don't alienate the only three women that listen to this podcast.
Three women, dude. You have a large demographic.
So Brittany has been reading this book called The Final Girl Support Group, and it's oh shit. Are you have an
Sorry,
intruder?
my cat is hold on. He's getting
He's
into
not
things.
gonna take it.
Give me
Yeah,
a second.
yeah, I was having your sexist comments, bro. That's why.
He got on a shelf and started throwing things down at my hermit crabs, dude.
I just love how fucking just bossy cats are. They're just like, fuck you, I'm pushing this over and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
Actually, in hindsight, my fucking cat did. I had like a glass half full of something. The bitch just like tap 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 tap.
yep.
It just fell all over a book, and I'm like, damn it, I guess I'm the idiot that left a half drink cup out. Should have realized you would do that, you dick. Okay, jumping back into it. So, Brittany's been reading this book called The Final Girl Support Group. It's about a small group, an AA meeting, except instead of them drinking, they're women that survive, I think, horror movies or survived mass killings, whatever. Uh, yeah, and that was one of the questions in the book. Why do horror movies kill women so much? You have a take on it? Do you want to jump in?
Well, so it's really interesting because I did notice that, like, for example, the main person in each of the Five Nights at like, not Five Nights at Freddy's. No, I'm doing it. In each of the Nightmare on Elm Street like movies, like except for the second one, which we don't talk about, uh, was is women.
Yeah.
Like, he kills almost entirely women. A few guys here and there, and then I was thinking about, like, it seems like in a lot of form, especially in the 80s and 90s, women
Yeah.
just died off a lot. I
Yeah.
part of it, so mm, there was like this weird like pervert culture in like the 80s and 90s. Like, I don't know how many like movies made around that time period where you have like peeping toms and things like that are like kind of focused on in some degree
Back to the
where it was like,
Future.
yeah,
That was literally Poop and Tom. Uh, Revenge of the Nerds. That sucks is because that guy raped that girl, like straight up.
I haven't
Uh,
seen that
you
one.
haven't seen it. Shit. Okay, I spoiled it for you. But just watch that, and it's like you're like that's super not okay. That's oof. Yeah, the 80s had a bit of a pervert culture. That's I never
Yeah.
even okay. And women
And
just they got the brunt of it. I'm sorry, women. It was shitty being a woman in the 80s.
but you notice, like, I've noticed, like, it was almost like in movies, it was this like in that time period, it was kind of like normal that there was like boys that would watch girls get changed or whatever through their window or something. And so that kind of interesting like culture. This is just a theory, of course. I'm not
No,
well
I think
read
it's
on
a
it.
very
Uh,
interesting theory because I think it's correct.
Yeah, and so you have like the women seem to like take the role in some of these horror movies as like sex appeal sort of,
Mm.
and then they just kill them. I don't know. I think it's just probably an excuse to have a woman on the screen for like to try it, because that's another thing that in horror movies they seem to focus on sex quite a lot.
Well, okay, because we're kind of going a couple different things though.
Yeah.
So it's like I think the aspect of the 80s culture possibly, but not technically, because if you look back before, I mean, Psycho, I that the most famous is like he's killing a woman. It's
Hmm.
so well, first off, is it sexist? I think yes. Unfortunately, it is sexist. I mean, the Lyle is perverted, but it's man dominated. It's like, hey, like we like want to turn that beautiful, wonderful woman into she is now an object, a very pretty object that needs to die. She's a beautiful Barbie that gets her head ripped off. Just
Could it also be like a lot of people tend to, I guess, the this isn't quite the word I'm looking for, but like relate more with like women. So like nobody cares about, dudes, right? So like
yeah,
you
yes,
think like there's
yes.
this where you feel uh more strongly moved by maybe a woman's death than you would a man's death.
So I'm glad he pointed this out because that's what I could agree with Brit. It was sexist, but kind of sexist toward men too, because just like you very much said, no one gives a fuck if a guy dies, because if a guy dies, it's not always a mass killer. It's a war movie. They're
Hmm.
fighting in a tournament. It's a fucking, like, I guess men are used to dying, and we don't give it, like you said, we don't place value on a man's death. That's why even Titanic, women and children first. Like, fuck, sorry, you're 30 and you have a promising business back home. Well, you're fucking dying on here and telling your wife, hey, good luck and run this company. But I think also, besides not even just relating, like, if we want to be sexist, the old saying was the fair sex or the weaker sex. I think that's what they refer to
Hmm.
as. Is they're like, okay, I think it's more higher stakes because the killer in those mass movies is an unstoppable force. Like, nothing can stand the way. Authority can't stand in its way. The captain of the football team can usually considered the Chad. Doesn't matter. He benches 200 pounds. He's getting a fucking axe to the face. He's gone.
Right.
So it's sexist, like it's portraying women as weaker, but horror has that final girl where it's showing that, yeah, in a way it's like, hey, but it's like it's showing that this woman is way stronger because she can survive this. So she can survive where even the quote unquote other considered strongest people couldn't. So I mean,
Right.
it's empowering women by being sexist, I guess is what I'm saying. I think,
Right.
yes, that's, I don't know. It's, yeah, I think people can relate and feel worse for a woman. It's also a bigger, yeah, I don't know. I You got anything? I'm gonna maybe edit this. I don't like how many pauses were here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no. I don't know. It's hard to say exactly. I mean, you can't know the mind of every producer, but it's like, so there could be 1,000 different reasons. They could be just perhaps the women they find and they're like casting happen to be better at pretending to die than the males in their cast, you know? Um,
Well, also it's like it's there. It kind of does have a pervert culture. It's like a
yeah.
lot of women. They're like, makes you think, like, you're right. We don't know the producer's intent, but what if there had to be some producers that, like, oh, this actress is named Billy after my ex-wife and she's gonna fucking die. Like, it's like they're like, yeah, punish that woman. It's really, it's a trip, man.
This is for taking the kids, Karen.
Uh so I guess the answer to the question is, well, first off, we acknowledge that yes, horror movies do kill a lot of women, and the answer is it's a little gray and ambiguous. Like, maybe they're punishing them, maybe they're empowering them, maybe they're saying making a statement that it's
And maybe they just like the guys just can't scream that high when they're getting murdered, you know?
hmm,
You
hmm.
gotta have that shrill, like
They call them scream
typical.
queens. Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
say scream kings. They say scream queens.
that's right.
Sexist pigs. All right,
That should be the name of our episode.
sexist pigs
Yeah.
or scream kings.
Scream Kings. Should we scream into the mic right? No, 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 no.
Ah!
Ah!
Oh my
Ah! I'm being murdered.
God! I'm Jeff. I'm a man, damn it. I will scream like that, but I'm still a man, damn it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look over the questions once more though, because there are some things like I'm mildly interested and curious. Uh, Out of all those movies, you really liked Hellraiser. I'm glad you liked
Yeah.
Hellraiser. If you want more Hellraiser, I gave you the comics. Out of all the movies we said today, what are some of the movies that you have on your list that you're gonna finish for this month? Okay, I'm gonna hit you a couple questions, like at least three. You may want to write this down. What movies do you have left on your list? What's the movie you're gonna watch? What's gonna be your Halloween movie? Everyone has that okay, we're gonna watch a movie. So just there's the rule. And then out of all the movies we talked about, tell me one that you wouldn't mind watching a movie like that, a type of that movie. And I can
Mm-hmm.
recommend some more shit to you.
So in terms of what's left on my list, I I'm conflicted because I want to keep trying to push through, finish up the Nightmare series.
I think you should.
I
I
want
think
to try and make it through the Saw movies, but
I
that's
think you
kind of
should.
that depends because I'm watching with my fiance, and so when we don't get a chance to see each other that often.
When's your days off? Aren't you guys
Um,
technically going to Ria's tonight?
Maybe, I don't know.
I would say
I
fucking make some popcorn and put on the Saw movies.
I don't know if I'll have time to if we'll have time to put on the Saw movies tonight, but we'll see.
All right. So I was gonna say, hey, because you're running out of time and you don't have COVID, I mean, you might have to just wait to finish Saw.
Yeah.
Do like a fucking watch night where you guys are watching it on like laptops and shit. Because it's a good series I think you should pursue.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna finish Saw. I just don't know if we'll be able to finish it before the month's up.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm wanting to try to finish up uh my Nightmare on Elm Street series,
You
but
should, which I talked about.
I
Keep
also
going.
kind of want to mix it up a little bit. I don't want to
Okay.
just finish out this month on one like series. And so I'm gonna look at some other things. You sent me like a big list of recommendations at one point. I might go back over that and find some new ones to throw in
Well,
there.
let's fucking look at that recommendation list because I think you've watched almost every single one. Like that's why I'm saying like I need to give you more if the month like if since the month's coming out. So
I think I know what I'm gonna do for Halloween though.
okay,
It's not gonna be a new one,
okay,
but
that's fine.
I want to watch The Exorcist.
Okay,
I want
hell
to watch
yeah.
The Exorcist on Halloween. It's such a good movie. I know there's some people out there that surprisingly haven't seen The Exorcist. If you haven't seen The Exorcist, watch it. It is not only is it a good horror movie, it is just a good movie.
There you go.
It is phenomenal. It like has this like real story it tries to tell. I haven't seen two or three. I've heard two is not worth watching. Three I've heard is good, but the first one
It's
is really good.
I want to watch the second one on acid or a lot of drugs because I hear it's trippy. Like it's nonsensical and it's trippy and like Matt said, so people don't know Exorcist was a book. Well, it was a movie. The guy that wrote the book also wrote the movie, which is why people consider not only one of the best scary movies, but just probably one of the best movies because of how well it is as a piece of film cinema. Second
Right.
one's garbage. Third one, people sleep on, and it's also written by the same dude, which is why people consider it so good. And it's got my husbando homie. Shout out Brad Dourif. I love you. I hope I can get you on the cast before you die. He's the boy getting old. I hate seeing the people from the 80s or people I'm like, damn, I can't wait to see Bill Murray, and then you realize he looks like a ghost. Yeah, I
Yeah. All right. Hold
but
on, dude.
okay, what?
My bladder is like incredibly full.
Go pee.
How's that for me? So I'll be right back. Let's see. We were talking about. I'm trying to remember where we were. Okay, so we're talking about. I just talked about the movie I was going to watch on Halloween, which was The
Yes.
Exorcist. And then the next one is what movie? Ooh, see, that's a good question. What movies should you recommend? See, I went over the list that you sent me,
Mhm.
and there's still like a good number in there that I haven't seen yet.
Well,
There's like,
anything like well, what's popping out for you though?
let me think. Let me look over a minute. So honestly, I'd be down for something like Event Horizon again, because that was a pretty unique, fun one.
Okay, you want Pandorum. That one's very similar. They're in a spaceship. Something happens. There's a crash or just something happens. People wake up on a pod in the ship and shenanigans ensue.
Okay, let's see. All right, it's on the list. Maybe I'll watch that one tonight.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Okay, so there's that. Because hey, you got more. I know you're. If you want to bring up the list, you can see the other stuff. But
What about anthologies? What have you got for anthologies?
so anthologies are fun because there are some really good ones and there are some really bad ones, and you can choose either or. Uh, like I mentioned, I appreciate black culture, and I'm gonna say that because my wife is black, but I do. I grew up like I think what actually drew me to black women was there was an exploitation film on just like movie on TV. Do you know what that shit is? Exploitation.
No, not in the context of film.
It's just like it's basically it's a lot of movies made in the 70s are kind of old grindhouse, kind of dirty jokes, funky music. It's usually about like a black lead character, a black hero fighting the white evil government, and usually there's like Foxy Brown or just like there's women with giant afros and white women that looked like James Bond girls. And I just remember, I can't remember what happened, but there was a white girl with long blonde hair in a skin tight suit. And I was like, that's pretty. And I saw a black woman, big old afro. I think she was wearing like yellow. She had like a halter top and shorts. And I was like, yes, like that's boom. I want that. Why am I telling you this? Oh yeah, okay. I love the culture. With that being
Right.
said, I think
Gentrification.
Tales from the Hood is fantastic. There's a second one. Don't watch it. I mean, I haven't seen it. You could watch it. I just the first one is good. It's creative. It deals with complex social issues, and it's also just a fun fucking movie to watch. Like it is. It's
Is it and
tight
it's horror?
and it's horror. It's
Interesting.
I don't want to say it's specifically black horror, but it is. It is specifically black horror. It's like it's three short stories that are horror themed that have horror shenanigans happening on, but it's like things that that at least in the '90s, probably now still that the black community's got to deal with. No, it's definitely stuff people got to deal with now, but I think anyone can watch it. You don't have to just be black to watch it. Like it's a cool flick. It's fun. It is cheesy, but it's also like I think it's great. So
Yeah, but
Tales in the Hood, watch that shit.
cheesy's fun in horror movies, man.
You could also go with Creepshow, dude. That is the most famous one. You want to talk about anthologies? That's the one you need to
Okay.
watch. Is Creepshow. If you really like Creepshow 1, there is a sequel. It is different, but it's it's just kind of like another piece of the pie. You can't. It's there if you want. Um, let's see. Another type.
Hmm.
You're looking for silly,
You know what? Let's throw a silly one in there.
silly cheesy gore. You have two choices. You can watch Rian. Oh, okay. Technically three. Uh, Reanimator is one of my all-time favorites.
I have
Very
heard of that
cheesy.
one.
It's also a Lovecraft story.
Ah, a
Uh,
reanimator?
yep,
I
Reanimator.
hardly know her, bro.
Do you have a Jewish writer? Like,
No.
no. Well, you
No.
should get one.
I actually I hired a Palestinian writer. Ooh,
I'm
politics.
definitely fucking gonna cut this one out. No, I'm just gonna stop talking about it because that's rough, man. This whole situation sucks. I hate watching people die.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
We're not gonna talk about it. So okay, so what about the other options? You got other choices, my guy?
Let's see. You gave three categories earlier. Do you remember what they were?
I mean, the categories were like the movie in space, like the evil space movie. There's
Oh,
the
Evil Space Mission. We
anthology, and
got that.
then there's the just kind of fun, cheesy, gory ones.
Yeah, okay.
I'm looking at the ones I recommended before. If you haven't seen Black Phone, that's a newer one. That's pretty good. It's pretty good, like now horror movie. Have you ever seen any of the Scream series?
I haven't seen the Scream series. That's one that I was actually on my list, but I don't know if I'll get to that. I might wait to watch it until next year.
Well, you could, entirely possible, but you have been really watching a lot of horror movies, and the first one, you only have to watch the first one. There is a series, but the first one is really, it's it's a staple. It's most definitely a staple. It's great. American Werewolf in London is classic. It's great. It's considered horror royalty because of
Mhm.
yeah what's done. But let me see here. I also got you have seen Sinister, right?
Oh yeah,
That
I've
was
seen
just a solid
Sinister.
one. That one's solid.
The
On
second one was rough.
I haven't seen it. I've heard like Rough as in it's shitty. Like it
Yeah,
ruins the good thing that was. Yep, that's what I heard.
yeah, it wasn't good.
That's what I heard. Son of a bitch.
It misunderstood what made the first one so good, and they
Mm,
just went for just gore and it just the story was all over the place.
that
It
makes me sad. That makes me sad. Okay, they're on Netflix. A really good one is The Ritual.
the ritual,
The Ritual on
interesting. Okay.
Netflix. And let's see. Saw Color Out of Space. If you want to watch a good movie, have you seen Bram Stoker's Dracula?
I haven't. I
That's
have not.
Gary Oldman's in it. That's a classic one. Uh, so of all the movies I gave you, how much do you have?
Let's see. So all the ones that you like that I have access to, or like that I have
The
like
ones
in
I
memory.
just told you. Like how many movies was the one I just told you?
That's a good question. I wasn't counting. Like I think it was like five.
Are you writing this down, motherfucker? Like,
It's in the noggin, bro.
bro, absolutely not, man. That's nah. I can't trust you. Can't trust the noggin dog. Mentally unstable. Like
That's true.
you have eye fog or
That's right.
eye
Visual
snow.
snow.
Visual
That's right.
snow, dude.
I'm normal and can be trusted with firearms. Okay. So we have
Please
Tales
stop.
Tales from the Hood,
Okay.
uh Creep Show,
Okay.
Pandorum,
Good choice. Good one.
and Black Phone,
Okay. It's three.
and Dracula.
Okay. Four.
That's four. And let's see, it was Creep. I think were those all the ones I think oh, those were the ones we just talked about. So
Okay.
four.
Dope. Dope. I think that indeed is
Oh, and
everything.
Scream.
And
I
Scream.
think
I think.
so
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
five.
I think those are solid choices. That's your six choices before there. Mildly curious. I'll make a status in the Facebook group. We're shout out. We're trying to get a Patreon started soon. If you're interested, I'm gonna do. There are gonna be a bunch of polls on the end of this episode. I really, really will appreciate it if you guys respond to it. I want to keep doing the show. I'm trying to get this thing picked up though. You'd be saving and helping me so much more than you know. But cool. Those are a good chunk of choice of movies, and then I think just you decide. Yeah, you. Exorcist 3. If you want to put that there,
Yeah,
that should. I think you'd enjoy that one. You would be like, okay, that was a good
right.
choice to watch that.
Uh,
Shut
give
up,
me
dude. Tell your roommate to
just give me
shut the
just a sec.
fuck up. Shut up, fuck up, roommate. Busy, you son of a bitch.
Sorry, it was maintenance coming.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope they. I was just messing around. I hope they don't like intentionally fuck up your shit and they're like fucking shows you dickhead. Cool. Okay. I think that's everything. Have you seen Cabin in the Woods?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we did. That one's so funny.
That and dude, and I bet you could appreciate that movie, especially watching all this stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
Great. Um I can't- yeah, I think that's it. And that kind of wraps up the time where I gotta go.
Yeah.
This has been fun. I know this has been a little free flow, a little bit of chaos, everybody. Probably a little weird, probably a little offensive, but we have fun here. Um, yeah, I always hate how to end this because like I want to think of something clever, but like yeah. I don't know. You got anything, Matt?
I could put the microphone in my mouth again.
Okay, do it.
We should
Okay.
edit that out.
No, well, I'm gonna edit it so like people like I they'll not get ear raped. So well, guys, I think we are down to one person watching now. Like we just alienated
Yeah,
and
we
we just
lost one.
thank you. I'm never
I'm
gonna use
glad I
support
can
on
help bring your
this.
podcast down.
Thank you. This has been truly a nightmare for me, and this is a nightmare on Oak Street. Oh, dude, there's the episode right there. A nightmare on Oak Street. Ooh, only one piece. It's compromised. You should tell him how you feel about Palestine. I think it's a great place to end the recording, guys. He's got maintenance in the back. Thank you, everyone, for seriously watching. I appreciate you so much. And all jokes aside, war is hell. Nobody should be dying. We should be loving each other. And I hope in this true time of true terror, we can watch some horror movies of some fake, nasty situations and we can be that much closer together. I love you all very much. And thanks for stopping by on today's novella. Peace. Thank you for listening to another episode of Ordinary People, Extraordinary Stories. If you're interested in helping the channel, feel free to click on the link below to get access to our Patreon, where we have exclusive episodes and clips not shown to the public. And of course, if you believe you yourself have an interesting story to tell, or know somebody who would be great for the show, feel free to email me back at OPESpodcast@gmail.com. That's OPES, that's the acronym for the show, Ordinary People, Extraordinary Stories, OPES, podcast@gmail.com. Thank you, everybody, and until next time.